You're listening to BBC Radio Newcastle, live at St James's Park. The teams are with us. Newcastle and Fulham shake hands as they greet each other on the halfway line. Also a handshake for the referee, Sam Barrett. It's a new name in Premier League terms. This is his 8th match in the top division. His first actually involved Fulham, their 3-1 home win over Sheffield United in October. He's from West Yorkshire. Sam Barrett, the referee, with assistance on the touchline from Mark Perry and Steve Meredith. Ollie Langford is the 4th official. On VAR duty, Michael Salisbury and James Mannery. Fulham in the AC Milan kit was a weird design the other night. Fulham is shocking pink today with a bit of black trim. It's it's quite bright, isn't it?
Just a bit, yeah.
The goalkeeper is in green for Fulham. Newcastle with Dubravka in luminous yellow, and the outfield players black and white stripes, black shorts, white socks. Livramento, Lascelles, Cher and Byrne in defence from right to left. Longstaff, Bruno, Joelinton the midfield. Almiron, Gordon and Wilson are the front three. Callum Wilson looking for first goal in 6 Newcastle appearances, but one more takes him level with Peter Beardsley in Newcastle's list of goal scorers in the Premier League. On the bench, Karius, Gillespie, Botman is back, Dummett, Ritchie, Hall, Kraft, Alex Murphy and Miley. Isak misses out because of a tight groin. Fulham, Bernd Leno in goal, Timothy Castagna, Tosin Adarabioyo, Issa Diop, Anthony Robinson. In midfield, Tom Kearney and João Palhinha, the Portuguese international. Alex Iwobi, Andreas Pereira, Harry Wilson, Raul Jimenez up front. And on Fulham's bench, the goalkeeper Marek Rodak, Kenny Tete, Harrison Reed, Fode Ballo-Touré, Bobby De Cordova-Reid, Rodrigo Muniz, Willian, Sasha Lukic and Carlos Vinicius. Do you fancy them today, Ando?
Yeah, I think you've got to, with the home form, even though Fulham have had 2 real good results the last 2 games. I'd fancy us against anybody here, if I'm perfectly honest.
To continue that brilliant home record and make it 7 in succession at St James's Park and go up to 6th in the Premier League in the process. The whistle's gone from the referee, but Fulham weren't quite ready. Now we get underway at St James's, live on BBC Radio Newcastle and also on NUFC TV. Fulham back to the goalkeeper at the Leazer's end. Newcastle kicking up the hill towards our left in the first half. Tosin with a bit of risky play at the back, and then Joelinton gets the ball on the Newcastle left side. It goes out of play, and they felt that there was a foul on Joelinton after he nipped in to win it, but it's only a Fulham throw. 30 seconds on the clock. Castagna to Raul Jimenez, wearing short sleeves and black gloves, the Mexican. Byrne to Cher, rolls it square to Lascelles, middle of Newcastle's half. We've got the floodlights on here at St James's. As a diagonal ball from Lascelles is cleared by Fulham. Cher intercepts just behind the halfway line, moves it quickly to Byrne, gives it to Gordon, and then it's returned to the big man. And Cher with Livramento looking forward, and Almiron in off the right touchline, volleyed away by Anthony Robinson. Jamal Lascelles heads on in front of Raul Jimenez. Bruno to Almiron, lovely layoff to Joelinton, trying to thread it through for Wilson, intercepted by Robinson, gives it straight to Bruno next to the centre circle. 90 seconds have been played. Bruno was heading out to the right, comes back into the middle. Cher on the halfway line next to the centre spot. and Newcastle move it to Gordon. Castagna sticking tight to him, and Byrne to Cher, and Lascelles approaching the halfway line on the far side of the pitch. Livramento down the line, gets it. Iwobi goes to close him down. It's Almiron now, ball inside to Livramento, tried to thread it through to Joelinton, it was intercepted. Longstaff wins it back. Almiron on his left on the right wing, down the line to Longstaff, high ball which sails behind.
Yeah, good play, good overlapping by Longstaff. Just a poor ball at the end of it.
Fulham now rolling it out short along to the right corner, and Castagna into the middle. It's whipped around the corner by Harry Wilson. Good ball, left-footed. And Kearney to Iwobi. They're in the final third, the visitors, in their pink strips. João Palhinha taken off him by Almiron. No appeals from Fulham. It's a fair challenge, nipped in. Sharp play from Almiron, and he's done well to find Bruno just inside the Fulham half. Pushed across to Livramento, back inside to the Brazilian. Longstaff to Bruno again in the 4th minute. Joelinton, nice flick. Almiron, Wilson makes a run away, and a stretching Fulham defender pushes the ball clear. Now it's going to come in from Livramento, and headed clear once again by Diop. Two good bits of defending. Bruno tripped 5 yards outside the penalty area on the right. Sam Barrett blows for a Newcastle free kick, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, good build-up play again. He's just had a little nibble on him, didn't he? Free kick, what, 5-6 yards outside the penalty area.
Bournemouth are losing 1-0 at home to Luton in another of the Premier League's 3 o'clock kickoffs this afternoon. That's the first goal in the top flight as Newcastle try to put together something that can result in a goal for them. Gordon and Cher are next to the ball. It's on the right side, right of centre. Cher to Gordon, and back again, and Fabian Cher went for a curler, and it's wide at the near post, but it had Leno across, diving just to make sure.
Yeah, he always had that near post covered. Always knew it was going wide, didn't he? Just making sure that near post was covered.
Probably lacked a bit of power, but wasn't too far away. The placement from Cher. Fulham goal kick headed down by Lascelles. Andres Pereira, the Brazilian. Now Alex Iwobi. Long hair in a ponytail, Iwobi. And the yellow ball at his feet. Stopped by Longstaff. Good tackle. Anthony Robinson floats it over to the near side. Oh, what about that? Raul Jimenez. Overhead kick from outside the box. Incredible technical ability, but an easy save for Dubravka.
He was going to be very hopeful, wasn't it? It was going to be a worldie to score from there. Great technique, though.
He was terrific for Wolves, and then he suffered that really serious head injury, Raul Jimenez.
Yeah.
And maybe
taken him a while to get back, hasn't it?
He's 32 now. Maybe hasn't reached those levels since, but he can still be very dangerous. Cher looking for Gordon in behind Castagna, taken down on the chest by the Fulham right back, and Kearney to Diop. The two Fulham centre halves are giants, 6'5". Not much in the air will be won by anyone else, you would think, up against those two boys. Here's tossing to Castagna on the right in Newcastle's half. Back to him from Pereira. Played against Gordon. And Fulham throw. Next to the Newcastle bench, and Eddie Howe, hands in pockets. Black and grey coat. plenty of movement for him, and it's Raul Jimenez with a layoff to Pereira. Tries to bend it in behind there for Harry Wilson, and he slid it across goal with Dubravka away from his posts, but there was a defender in the middle to clear.
Thankfully there was no one in there, just to tap it into an empty net.
He got there first, Wilson, with Dubravka coming off his line and wide of the goal. Newcastle survive that first Fulham attack in the 8th minute, 0-0.
Yeah, as I say, thankfully nobody had gambled, because pink shirt in there, they're rolling that into an empty net.
Lascelles now with the ball up to Longstaff, onto Bruno. That's neat, and the runner is Joelinton. He's going to ask a lot of him. Just beat him, aiming it towards the left corner. Fulham throw. Referee Sam Barrett makes sure they take it from the correct place, the point where the ball left the pitch. It's BBC Radio Newcastle. If you're looking for Sunderland's match against Bristol City, that commentary is on DAB and Freeview Channel 719. Raul Jimenez tackled by Dan Burn, and now Wilson pushed over right on the edge of the area, and another free kick for Newcastle, close to the 18-yard box. It's on the left this time, just in from the corner, and toss in with the foul on Wilson.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest defending in the world. He's got wrong side, he's forced into making that tackle. Free kick in a dangerous area. Gordon stood over it. Joe Linton's there as well, although he's walking away. Looks like it's going to be Gordon. Good shooting position.
Gordon could whip it. Livramento's hanging back. Almiron on the edge of the area. All the other players are in the middle, and Bernd Leno is about a yard off his line, centre of the goal. In the 10th minute, Anthony Gordon, it's low and it's off a Fulham player, Tom Kearney, out to the corner on the left, and sent up the touchline. Livramento falling, has done very well to control the ball with Iwobi on his shoulder and get it back to Dubravka.
Yeah, got a little bit fortunate as well, because he wasn't too sure where that ball was.
Gordon onto Bruno, away from João Palhinha with ease. Lovely from Bruno, he made it look easy. This is Almiron, hanging it up and taking it around Robinson. What skills from Almiron, then a turn, now the chance to cross maybe. He's given it to Bruno, the return ball too strong for Almiron.
Yeah,
it's going to be like Fulham away last season with that Almiron Bruno 1-2, but he overhit the return pass.
Yeah, just got too much on it, didn't he?
Again, Fulham playing it out short along their penalty area from the goal kick. Lascelles header forwards. It's collected by Robinson. And that goes for a United throw on halfway. Livramento to Lascelles. Cher receives it. Square pass to Burn. Gordon comes to halfway. Look at the space for Gordon. Castagna backed off, and João Palhinha has to come out towards him. It's Gordon to Wilson. Took a touch, tried to return it, got tackled and took a bit of a whack, Wilson. Fulham have created a move now and some space for Raul Jimenez to attack down the right side. Pereira in the middle, Iwobi far side. Jimenez to Pereira, turning, and the cross caught easily, low down by Dubravka, a couple of yards out.
Yeah, they don't really gamble, do they? They don't get too many pink shirts into that penalty area. I know it's somebody has to get across that near post. It was an easy take in the end for Dubravka.
Cher now on the charge up from centre back. Oh, he's pulled his hamstring, and Timothy Castagna very sportingly puts the ball straight out. Fabian Scher's hit the deck, and Sven Botman back on the bench after a 17 match absence may well be called into action early here, because Fabian Scher the only Newcastle player who started every Premier League game, took himself forwards and his hamstring went. And surely he cannot continue.
No, you wouldn't think so, not the way he's pulled up. It looks like it's high up as well.
He's played every game, Cher.
Although they seem to be stretching it, which...
Just thinking about the fatigue factor.
The way he went down suggests that it just went ping. But they're stretching it.
The physio is with him, Bernd Leno, another German speaker. Fulham's goalkeeper is next to Cher. Emil Kraft, Paul Dummett and Lewis Hall are the players on the touchline. Kraft's come back to the bench. No sign of Sven Botman. And it appears as though...
That's amazing, he looks like he's alright.
No, well, Cher's on 2 feet. And with a grimace, he is led over to the touchline. I think Emil Kraft is going to be the player on, rather than Sven Botman.
You can understand it. I mean, you're expecting Botman to play 75 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a big ask. Somebody who's missed 17 games who's been out for as long as he's been out. It's a gamble.
And it's yet another injury. This is crazy. Emil Kraft is going to come on for Fabian Cher. Kraft, this will be his 5th appearance of the season. 4 of them now in the Premier League off the bench. The other 3 were all in defeats. So let's hope he breaks that run.
Kraft's gone to right back. Dan Burns going in centre back by the looks of it. Livramento's gone to left back.
So they've changed 3 of the back 4 there, with only Lascelles staying where he was. Dubravka, Kraft, Lascelles, Byrne, Livramento, Longstaff, Bruno, Joelinton, Almiron, Gordon, Wilson. 0-0, 15th minute. Gordon stops Tosin's ball going down the line. It's a Fulham throw on the right. Referee, for the second time, has told Timothy Castagna to take the throw from the right place and shouted at him, come on.
Yeah, he's been very, very picky, this referee, isn't he?
Castagna seemed to accept that he was in the wrong place and didn't argue. João Palhinha up to Jimenez. That's gone backwards from Harry Wilson. Diop with a header into midfield. Longstaff challenges with Kearney, and Joelinton to Kraft. His first involvement. Himself back from injury, and a really bad injury it was. Out for more than a year. Decides to take off and head forwards, gets away from Iwobi. Emil Kraft on the attack. His ball inside's taken a touch off a Fulham player and come to Joelinton, edge of the box. Almiron drags it back, turns, gives it to Kraft, who stayed up in the wide position. Inside to Almiron again. Whips it. Livramento free, left side of the area. Livramento brings it down, plays it behind Gordon, and Raul Jimenez smacks it against the Newcastle forward. And it's a throw for Fulham at right back again. Take it from the correct place. Timothy Castagna. We'll have the referee on at you again. Gives it to Tosin, and it's a hooked ball high, just headed forwards by Byrne. Gordon to Wilson, went for the return, and it's run behind the goal line. Goal kick for Bernd Leno.
It's very flat, isn't it?
That happens when a player goes off injured, doesn't it? I mean, remember Dortmund and Isak went off about the same sort of time, and it affected the mood and the atmosphere. What do you think about the way the game has started, Ando?
We've had all the ball. They've had 1 or 2 little moments, haven't they, where they've got forward, got in behind.
Lascelles gets the better of Jimenez, and then Joelinton on to Gordon. 3 in the box. Gordon cuts inside, plays it back to Bruno.
Over it.
Bruno over the top of the bar, inside of the right foot from the edge of the area. Will be disappointed that he didn't hit the target. The whistle's gone and the Fulham physio is coming on because Raul Jimenez, from the challenge with Jamal Lascelles, has stayed down.
Yeah, you've got to put your foot through that. I mean, you're about 20 yards out and you're trying to side foot it.
What happened with Lascelles and Jimenez? Was there any contact between them, or did he just land off
a little bit, but nothing. It's a little bit of a swinging arm. There's nothing intentional, but you don't stay down like that.
Well, maybe because it's Raul Jimenez, they're checking his neck and just taking care as Jason Tindall calls Tino Livramento cross, and they have a conversation. Fulham staff are speaking with the fourth official, Ollie Langford. Jimenez is back up. And the match will restart with a Fulham goal kick on 18 minutes here on BBC Radio Newcastle. Joelinton involved in that attack, playing it into Gordon. Couldn't find space for the shot. Just the roll back for Bruno over the bar. And it's a chance. Here's the Fulham ball forwards. Jimenez is still off the pitch. Lascelles heads it away. Diop, stooping, touches it back with his head to the feet of the goalkeeper, Leno, and now tossing straight to Livramento, who drops his shoulder and goes on the outside. Gordon makes the run. Livramento still carrying it in the final third. Bruno to Joelinton, back to the wide position to Livramento, into the centre for Bruno, floated pass to switch the play and find Almiron. Bruno's made his way over there to give Almiron an option. Ball's come inside. Bruno tried to take it forwards. Fulham win it back. Iwobi, it's a good battle, and it's gone for a Newcastle throw 30 yards from the visitors' goal, 0-0. Now that is going to be a Newcastle free kick. Raul Jimenez with a challenge there that is going to see him get a yellow card, and it's on Sean Longstaff. Well, they collided. Longstaff is on the floor. He's got his hands on his face. He's clearly been hurt by the Jimenez challenge. He's having a fairly light-hearted discussion with Miguel Almiron about it. The referee shows the yellow card. Didn't really get a clear view of what happened. The ball was bouncing, and Longstaff was caught by a flying Jimenez.
Yeah, he's just jumped, doesn't he? It's one of those, the ball's bouncing, he just jumped.
Well,
I think he's trying to pull out as well. He's gone with his feet, and then he takes his feet away, and his hip sort of catches Longstaff up around the chest area.
Longstaff's back up, and VAR are checking for a possible red card for serious foul play. It's Michael Salisbury, the VAR, James Mannering, the assistant VAR, and referee Sam Barrett felt that it was a yellow card offence, but VAR are having a look, and the referee is going to check the monitor in front of the east stand on the far side. He has been advised that this needs a review. Only his 8th Premier League match, Sam Barrett, and Raul Jimenez, who's just come back on from getting a whack on the face from Jamal Lascelles and needing treatment, could be about to receive a red card if the referee agrees with the VAR's recommendation. He's looking at the monitor, and the players are waiting behind him on that touchline. The assistant referee, Steve Merritt, has got a big job telling them all to stay back. Raul Jimenez.
Look, we all know what this means. He'll send them off.
Well, he's having a long look at it.
Once they go, he'll send them off.
it's not intentional, it's just the way that he catches him. Doesn't look good. The referee makes the VAR signal, says no yellow card, reaches into his pocket, and Fulham striker Raul Jimenez is sent off. The yellow card has been upgraded to a red. His manager Marco Silva stares at the floor, shakes his head, and the visitors are down to 10 men. It was a yellow, the on-field decision, but VAR recommended a review, and it's red for Jimenez. And 0-0 at St James's Park, and Fulham are down to 10.
Once they go and look, it's always... I have yet to see a referee have the bottle to stick by his decision. I mean,
if he catches him, I don't know, a foot lower, Ando, it's probably just because he seems to catch him round the neck, the face. But there are 23 minutes on the clock, and Fulham have got 3/4 of the match to play with a man less.
Yeah.
And surely that has got to be a positive for Newcastle, who've taken the free kick on the right side, just ahead of halfway. Bruno with a chance to cross, and does. Big header out by Tosin. Gordon whipped round to the right side. Almiron has miscontrolled it, and it's a goal kick. And news of a goal at Ashton Gate. Sunderland are losing 1-0 to Bristol City, who have scored a penalty. If you want the Sunderland coverage from BBC Radio Newcastle, then you'll find it on DAB and Freeview Channel 719. Still looking for the opening goal here. Fulham win it on halfway. Iwobi. They'll have to change things around a bit. I think Iwobi might have gone further forwards, and Pereira on the far side as Castagna runs the ball out of play. Quick throw from Gordon in the middle of the visitors' half. Back to Byrne. Newcastle have had to shift things around with the injury to Cher. Kraft is on at right back, so neither side at the moment, and for the rest of the match, is going to be set up how they started it. Byrne can't go forwards. Livramento's advanced a long way up the left side, and Byrne gets it back from Lascelles, and he switches the play. Longstaff's drifted into the right wing position. Robinson heads it, and Kraft lets it bounce, and out it goes. Quick throw into the path of Almiron on halfway. BBC Radio Newcastle. Fulham down to 10 men. Byrne looking both ways. Livramento high up again on the left, with Castagna having tucked in, and players shuffling across to the far side, which is where Newcastle have it, through a throw from Kraft to Almiron, now in the middle of midfield. Manchester City 1, Crystal Palace 0. Goal from Jack Grealish. Luton winning at Bournemouth 1-0. Livramento for United, who haven't tested Bernd Leno yet. Martin Dubravka's not made a save either. Bruno. Kraft near to the corner. It's a low cross that's dealt with by Diop, and a clearance which he passes out to the far side. They win it back, United, from Iwobi. Byrne. Fulham now with 9 outfield players pretty much behind the ball. Gordon drifts in, drops it off with Bruno, whips it onto the chest of Kraft on the right touchline. Back to Lascelles. As the Newcastle fans sing his name, Dan Byrne plays it to Almiron. Goes on the Longstaff goes on the outside of Kraft. Almiron then joins in. Longstaff to Bruno, lovely flick. Kraft with a low cross. Gordon takes a touch, but it took him away from goal. No, Livramento and Bruno got in one another's way. Bruno has it just outside the area on the left. Couple of turns, and A ball to Joelinton, back to Bruno. Lifts it in, Almiron, back across goal. And then an offside against Almiron. Nearly. But not quite.
No. Good ball though, wasn't it? Guimaraes just picks it, he just pings it. Almiron's just got himself into an offside position.
How has the game changed, if at all, John Anderson, since the Fulham red card?
Well, we're still having all the ball. We had all the ball prior to the red card. You've just got to utilise that extra man, haven't you? You've got to move them around. Got to look to get in behind them.
Newcastle 0, Fulham 0. Byrne beats Iwobi in the air, and then João Palhinha nicks it back from Joelinton. Tom Kearney moves it with his left foot to the right wing, and Harry Wilson. Castagna slightly behind Tosin. Wilson was on his other shoulder. The defender sweeps it back to Leno at the edge of the Fulham penalty box, and then the keeper's ball straight to Lascelles, and Newcastle have it again. The manager Marco Silva folds his arms and watches from the sidelines as Eddie Howe and Jason Tindall have a conversation. They're pointing at something on the far side. Byrne behind the halfway line and inside to the skipper Jamal Lascelles, looking to play it forwards. It's Bruno. Nice play. Bruno and Livramento. Fantastic from Livramento. Longstaff's ball on. Just away from Almiron, and Robinson clears deep into Newcastle's half. And they get the ball back to Bravka to Lascelles, 0-0.
Yeah, good play again, wasn't it? Livramento just drifts in off this left side.
Crossfield ball aimed towards Gordon, but too close to Castagna. That's straight to Bruno Guimaraes. How many times have Fulham given the ball away cheaply?
Yeah.
Longstaff moves it on to Kraft and Almiron. Back to Emil Kraft, now Bruno Guimaraes. You've seen a lot of it. Joelinton helps it to the right wing to Almiron, on the outside to Kraft. Now the cross, Gordon takes it down. Here's Anthony Gordon, hits the bar. Oh, and it wouldn't come down for Longstaff. Gordon against the bar, and Longstaff couldn't shift his feet quickly enough to put away the rebound.
Should have scored, shouldn't he? Castagna gets caught under the ball.
Gordon, great ball. Almiron, what a take. What a take. Outside of the left boot, mid-air, in the box. Back to Bruno, swings it in. Header clear by the defender Tosin, and Iwobi with it on the right. Fulham back to Castagna, closed down by 2 in black and white. He's found Palhinha in the middle. We'll come back to Ando and the Newcastle chance in a second, just with the threat of an attack from the away team, who, remember, have 10 men. They played half an hour, and they look for Iwobi in the corner. Burns followed him across. Iwobi gets there, the Nigerian, and it's played inside by Kearney to Andreas Pereira, who's had a try, and Fulham are saying that should be a corner. It looked like it took a touch. It's a goal kick only. Maybe it hit another Fulham player on the way through, but the chance for Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, Castagna gets caught under the ball, drops for Gordon, takes it down, hits it with his left foot. Unfortunately, hits the underside of the bar and bounces out,
and then it hits Longstaff, I think, on the knee before he can react to it. The crossbar, after a great save the other night, denied Newcastle, and it's the woodwork again. And now it's Fulham in the Magpies half of the pitch. Kearney returned to him by Wilson, and they've got players forwards here committed in this attack down the left. Anthony Robinson, only Iwobi close to the goal. Back into midfield. João Palhinha's had a try. and it was firmly struck, but straight into Bradford.
Comfortable.
This is Livramento. It's a good forward run. Inside left position to Gordon. Lots of pink shirts back. Livramento's made another run. Gets there on the goal line. Keeps it in. Back to Gordon. Takes a touch. Sticks the cross in. Wilson! Good header in front of the defender, but caught by the keeper in the centre of the goal.
Yeah, comfortable save. Decent ball whipped in. He gets across the big centre back. Gets good contact on it. But it's straight at Leno.
Anthony Gordon is looking for what would be a goal in a fifth Newcastle home match in the league in a row today, as Joelinton gives the ball to Iwobi, who's in for Fulham. Alex Iwobi, brilliant defending from Dan Burn. Just as Iwobi was getting the shot off, Burn did enough, and Dubravka makes a save. Fulham win it back from Almiron. Some Newcastle fans feel that was a foul. Nothing given, and then Almiron wins it in midfield, and it's getting a bit end-to-end this. Joelinton through the centre over halfway. Strong running from Joelinton, edge of the box, pushes it to Gordon, looks for Callum Wilson, but the cross is too high. What about the Fulham chance?
Yeah, it looked like he was in, didn't it? Gets a shot away. Bourne does well, actually gets back, just puts him under a bit of pressure. Not the best strike in the world, is it?
Joelinton's down, and Newcastle's physio's coming on. Matt Ritchie is sent for a jog along the touchline, and so is Lewis Miley. It's 0-0 on BBC Radio Newcastle in the 34th minute. Are they getting closer, Ando?
Not really.
Hit the bar.
Yeah, that's as close as they've got.
Yeah, but closer than they had been at 11v11.
Still haven't walked Leno though, have we?
No. And there could be another problem here.
Joelinton. There could be some added on time here.
Yeah. Well, Sheroff injured. Joelinton down. Jimenez treatment.
Yeah. Jimenez sending off.
And the send. Yeah. We will take you through it all. Lewis Miley's coming back to the bench. Jason Tyndall is with him with a tablet device, and Joelinton is up. He high-fives Miguel Almiron. Lewis Miley's taking off his yellow bib, and he's going to come on. This is going to be a second player going off to injury. This is absolutely brutal, this injury situation. Yet another one. Shake of the head from Joelinton, and Lewis Miley, left out today, comes on in the 36th minute, and Joelinton's off.
Unbelievable. Another hamstring.
If they didn't have Longstaff, Wilson and Byrne back, I mean, quite how the team and the squad would look. There'd be more academy players on it. They are so light in so many areas, and it's two big players, John Anderson, who've gone off injured.
Yeah
today.
You just wonder.
Almiron's
hamstring problems.
I was going to say, Almiron's on the left wing. Gordon's gone to the right now. They've switched it, and Longstaff's gone to left centre midfield with Miley to the right of Bruno. Livramento on the stretch with a vital header. This is Longstaff on the near side. Tidy play in midfield, just holding on to the ball, and Livramento steps into the Fulham half. It's still 0-0. Sunderland 1-0 down at Bristol City, and that commentary, if you're a bit lost and looking for the Sunderland match and you don't want to listen to Newcastle but you want red and white coverage, Freeview channel 719 or BBC Radio Newcastle on DAB. Livramento, 20 yards out to Longstaff, drags it back. Bruno, Almiron, it's on his good side with his left foot. He cuts in and gives it to Bruno. Lewis Miley. Emil Kraft in the attack, back through for Miley, well worked, cut back from Miley. They've got an opportunity. Newcastle in the box with Wilson, but the shot on the turn is blocked. And Kraft, terrific, shoulder to shoulder. What pace from Kraft to charge down Kearney, give him a shove and win the ball back, but all fair and legal. Nothing wrong with that, was there?
No, but you've seen plenty of them given.
It's probably why I emphasised that it was fair, because sometimes you never know. Here's Gordon on the goal line on the right. The cross was quite didn't have enough height, not with the giant Fulham centre halves, and Issa Diop with the header out of play. Miley back to Kraft and Bruno. He's had so much of the ball so far. Lascelles and Byrne ahead of the centre circle. Every Fulham player behind the ball, trying to keep their shape. The 10 men. Almiron to Bruno. Newcastle moving it right to left. Longstaff, Livramento out wide. Sean Longstaff goes into the box. Livramento cuts in, sends over the cross, just away from Wilson. Goal kick.
It's a difficult one as well, because when you're cutting back on that right foot, you're whipping it. It's always going towards goal.
Listening to BBC Radio Newcastle with 39 minutes at St James's Park. Leno's not being tested with a long goal kick up field, 0-0. Throw for the away team. Robinson to Kearney, holds off Gordon. The Fulham captain Tom Kearney gives the ball back to his defenders, and the goalkeeper Leno straight onto the chest of Byrne.
Just keeps coming straight back at it, doesn't it?
There's no one to hold it up for Fulham. Almiron, Longstaff inside off the left touchline. Bruno drags it away from Iwobi, left-footed pass. Robinson heads it away, but it goes out. Byrne and Longstaff replaced Miley and the suspended Trippier today. Cher and Joelinton have gone off injured, with Miley and Kraft coming on, and there's no Isak in the squad because of what we're told is a tight groin and a precaution leaving him out. Almiron and Livramento, 0-0. Eddie Howe giving Almiron some instructions, telling him to stay wide, stay high up, but stay wide on the left. He holds his position as they attack down the far side, the right. Miley and Kraft. The ball from Miley, it's just away from Gordon. And Kearney with it. Fulham through Iwobi. Move into the centre, away from the left wing. And it's positive play from Alex Iwobi, and look at this from Tosin in the penalty area, the centre-back on the right, into the middle, and it's stabbed behind by Big Dan Byrne for a corner.
Decent break, wasn't it? Big centre-back got on his bike, didn't he? Just took off. Had to defend it.
They've got in a couple of times down this right side, haven't they?
Yeah.
Wilson at the start of the match. This time Tosin. Andreas Pereira, walking pace, makes his way over to the near side. Marco Silva is very animated and saying something in the direction of his players in the box. It's a corner ball played to the corner of the area on the floor to Kearney, and he's lifted the cross straight into the hands of Dubravka. When you've got players, huge players in the box,
what a waste.
They'll be disappointed. They've got to get back now. Emil Kraft stopped by João Palhinha. Newcastle United throw ahead of the halfway line. Almiron to Miley. Gordon's back on the left with Almiron on the right again. Into the centre to Bruno. Gordon pushed away from Gordon. Longstaff to Bruno. Livramento, left-footed cross. Here's an opportunity for Longstaff. Took it on, but the shot was straight at Leno. Don't think he got a great deal on the effort after a first touch that played him into space, bearing down on the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's unlucky, isn't he? It's a good touch. It's a good ball played in by Livramento. He just comes onto it. Just tries to play it past him. Looking at a penalty here, aren't he?
Wilson got a knock and was sent over by a defender as the ball was by, which one was it? In the middle, because there were two defenders right next to him. We're going to play on, I think, but VAR are looking at a possible Newcastle penalty, but no further examination of that incident. It's Fulham's ball from the back, and Wilson standing on the edge of the box with Leno as he kicks out of his hands. Byrne backpedaling, nods it down to Sean Longstaff, and slides with João Palhinha. It's a Fulham ball. So Eddie Howe goes to retrieve it for Castagna. Takes it next to the Newcastle technical area. A minute of the opening 45 is still to be played, and then what we expect to be a lengthy additional time period will be added on. Free kick for Longstaff's challenge on Palhinha. He doesn't quite like, he's getting a bit frustrated, Sean Longstaff. His first start since the Bournemouth match on the 11th of November. Tossing up to Pereira, back to Iwobi. Kraft committed himself, and there's space on the far side for Robinson. Lascelles hooks it clear from inside the 6-yard box, and Miley gets there. Plays it back to Kraft forwards, still in their own penalty area, mind. Almiron to Lascelles, back to Dubravka. Played into the corner to Kraft. Miley to Almiron. Up to Wilson, backing into Diop. Then Almiron pushes it forwards from Wilson's layoff. They got their way out of a tight spot really well, Newcastle. But then they've given the ball back to Fulham on halfway. 0-0. Here comes the numbers board as Iwobi attacks down the left. 8 minutes. A cross from Iwobi straight into the hands of Dubravka, who goes for a quick underarm bowl out to Wilson. On a run, Wilson fouled by Diop next to the centre circle.
It's the best he could wish for, because he had nobody with him. There's nobody ahead of him.
They are playing again, Newcastle, looking for the opening goal in first half added on time. Bruno to Livramento, back to Longstaff. It's not a lot of movement, but there's space for Livramento, edge of the area, turns, rolls it wide to Gordon to take on Castagna. Back to Bruno. Livramento, Gordon again, inside to Bruno, down under a challenge. Gordon, Bruno's pass to Kraft, back to Bruno, lifted in, headed up. Iwobi stopped by Byrne from getting forwards. Lascelles, Tino Livramento, who started at right back and is now at left back. Lewis Miley sends it out wide. Kraft with the cross, and it's come off Gordon's head and gone back.
It's not his forte, is it? Just jumped, didn't he? And the ball's just hit him on the head. Didn't really go and attack it. Good play again. Great little ball, Miley in behind. Kraft gets the decent ball.
They've won their last 3 against Fulham. A couple of good away victories at Craven Cottage. Last time they lost to Fulham in the Premier League, Newcastle, was in March 2014. But both teams have had spells in the Championship. Fulham in particular yo-yoing a bit, but last season they finished 10th in the Premier League, and that's where they started today, seemingly established once again in the top flight. Newcastle still pushing for that opening goal against the 10 men, with Raul Jimenez sent off after a VAR review for a challenge on Sean Longstaff. Bruno close to the edge of the box. Kraft to Bruno again, a bit more space for him this time, and then it's down the line for Kraft, who sends over a high cross. A couple of Fulham headers, and that was a push by Wilson, wasn't it? And that's why the whistle's gone.
Yeah, frustrating, isn't it?
Or was the ball out, and did it come back in?
Obviously not. Looks like it's a free kick.
Yeah. Eight additional minutes, and we're into the 4th of those. Byrne and Iwobi have got a hold of each other. It's the Newcastle defender that heads it away. Fulham play it wide right. Harry Wilson down the line. Burns there again. Sends it clear. Look at that from Tosin on Wilson. Newcastle wants a free kick, and the referee says no, but they do have a throw.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other. They're both holding each other.
Now, welcome to you if you've been listening to the first half of Sunderland's match on BBC Radio Newcastle. 8 additional minutes at St James's Park, 0-0. Newcastle attacking Kraft and Almiron in the right corner. It's pushed away by Fulham to Bruno. Down the line for Almiron. Takes it with his left. Now Bruno again. Moves the ball inside. Pushes it to Livramento. Longstaff free. Left side of the penalty area. Longstaff, it's opened up for him. Still got it, Sean Longstaff. And the shot didn't travel very far. Fulham get the block in.
Should have hit it earlier.
Byrne retrieves it in front of the halfway line. It's 0-0. Fulham have got 10 men. Raul Jimenez sent off after a VAR review. Newcastle have lost Fabian Schär and Joe Linton to injuries. And we'll be back in the studio with Colin White soon for the full half-time scores from around the country. Livramento, 5 yards outside the area, central position. Fulham drop right in. Newcastle finding space in the wide areas. Kraft and Almiron. Almiron to Byrne, takes a touch. Oh, he could have hit it. Instead feeds Gordon, taking on Castagna. Gordon's cross, Almiron coming in. It's caught Pereira, who has stayed down, and the referee stops the game, and Pereira looks in quite some distress. He's got his hand over his face, and he's holding his right shin. Almiron, a bit of a flying effort, and may have just caught Pereira with his studs.
Yeah, nasty one.
Painful. More added on time. We've had near to 6 minutes in this extra period. Newcastle 0, Fulham 0 on BBC Radio Newcastle. And Pereira is alright. The medical man didn't need to come on for Fulham, and United restart the match. Bruno. Kraft. Back to Bruno first time. Closed down by the Fulham midfielder Tom Kearney. Bruno through a little gap to Gordon. Protects the ball. And Kraft in the corner. Whips it in. Oh, it's missed kick by Longstaff and comes to Livramento. Headed away by Wilson. It hit the bar through Gordon. really troubled Bernd Leno too much in the visiting goal, but they're keeping the pressure on. Almiron down the line to Kraft, away by Anthony Robinson, Fulham left back. Ball is back in play with Newcastle United. Dan Burn cut out by Harry Wilson. Fulham have only got Iwobi up ahead of him. They've got 3 runners from midfield, and Gordon and Burn do well to regain the ball but get it clear and toss in with Wilson, who came back from an offside position to challenge. So it's a free kick for the away team. And Sam Barrett's whistle goes. Callum Wilson picked up the ball. He's given it back to Fulham, and the goalkeeper Leno will take the free kick, but Wilson has stayed down after that challenge. Sean Longstaff lifts him up. He's clearly a bit sore from it. It's the meat and the sandwich of Burn one side and Gordon the other. BBC Radio Newcastle 0-0 at St James's Park. Sunderland's match away to Bristol City. Our other commentary game finished for the half-time break a good few minutes ago, with Sunderland trailing by 1-0. Longstaff gets away from a sliding João Palhinha. Maybe one last Newcastle attack before the whistle. Wilson, it's a throw. We've played 8 minutes. That's what was shown on the numbers board. We're going to play more. Longstaff, it could open up edge of the box, but Miley's touch presented the ball to Kearney, and Fulham have it on the left side of midfield. And Robinson makes a forward run, taking them into the final third. Kraft with him, nobody in the box. Robinson, great tackle from Kraft as he tried to skip past him. Lewis Miley getting Newcastle up the field. Almiron near to halfway. Referees letting the half go on and on. Almiron's come from the right wing to the left side of the attack, gives it to Gordon. There's 5 Newcastle players in the box, and Gordon with it just outside the area. Gordon goes for goal. The effort is too high, and there's the half-time whistle. John Anderson. Tough afternoon in terms of injuries. Fabian Schär and Joel Linton both replaced in the first half. It means they start now the second period after the substitutions earlier with Dubravka, Kraft, Lascelles, Burn and Livramento at the back. Miley, Bruno, Longstaff in midfield, Almiron on the right, Gordon on the left, Wilson up front. And Fulham with 10, with Raul Jimenez sent off, have Leno in goal, Castagna, Tosin, Diop and Robinson, Kearney, João Palhinha, Iwobi, Pereira, Wilson. Iwobi, I think, Ando's kind of playing as the forward, isn't he? But just
he's the one further forward.
It's like 4-4-1,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah. And when they haven't got the ball, he drops in and he makes it a 5 in there. But they've got no outlet for them. They can't get. It's not as if they got somebody big to hit and play off.
Black and white stripes against the pink of Fulham. Kraft and Almiron, good play, and that's put behind for a corner. Issa Diop across, making the challenge to stop Lewis Miley, breaking through towards the goal. They're at the Gallagher end. Newcastle shooting towards the right down the hill in the second half, and a quick corner by Gordon to Almiron, who lifts in the cross, and it dropped away from goal, but it was also away from Callum Wilson, who it was aimed at.
Yeah, short corner kick. He's just whipped it, hasn't he? Back post, just beat everybody.
Bernd Leno in front of his right hand post, upfield. Eddie Howe, hands in pockets, watches as Dan Burn volleys forwards, but the ball's going to bend out, and it's a throw. Castagna to take it. VAR also looked at a possible Newcastle penalty in the first half, didn't they, Ando? On Callum Wilson. We didn't really have much chance to discuss it, but no, it wasn't a penalty.
No, it was not even sure where they look at it. Mind you, they check everything, don't they? They look at everything nowadays.
Just making sure. Bruno to Almiron, and wide to Kraft's been forwards a lot, the substitute, and he wins a corner off Anthony Robinson, who's dyed his hair white. Robinson, curly hair, and he jogs into the middle of the box. Gordon on set piece duty here. Jason Tindall with some words in the direction, I think, of Almiron, who's on the edge of the penalty area. Gordon puts two arms in the air, takes an out-swinging corner kick, which is headed up by Robinson, not really clear. Almiron then makes a challenge, and it's a foul by Almiron, who has caught an opponent. It's Kearney. It's near to the edge of the box. Gordon will look to put in a more dangerous.
Yeah, it was a poor ball.
It takes a set piece.
Yeah, it was flat near post, easy to defend against.
Slow start to the second half then on BBC Radio Newcastle, 0-0. Sunderland's match, DAB and Freeview Channel 719. They are losing 1-0 to Bristol City away from home. Eventually Leno launches the ball up towards the final third, away by Newcastle. Iwobi with it on the right side. There's three black and white shirts there, and it's pushed up towards Harry Wilson, who can be a threat, but they haven't had him in the game much. Iwobi's cross from the right, near to the goal line. One header clear, back out to the wide position, then Fulham regain possession. Kearney forced away from goal, then plays forwards with a pass. Iwobi to Wilson, João Palhinha. Lascelles intercepts. Would have been a lovely move and goal had it come off for Fulham. Newcastle very pleased to clear the danger, and this is good football into the Fulham half now. Livramento's pass is intercepted. He played his part in that move, and it's the other fullback now, Kraft, on the right to Almiron. Infield away from Robinson. Still got it, Almiron. He's taken it across the pitch. Could roll in Livramento. Instead gives it to Bruno, who has a touch and then a shot, which is pushed down by Leno and caught at the second time, but always in control, the keeper.
Yeah, decent hit straight at the keeper. He just batted it down. Plenty of power in it.
Andreas Pereira receives it but can't go forwards. Kraft at his back, plays it to Diop, into the feet of the goalkeeper. United throw 20 yards out. Kraft to Miley. It's run across his body and into the centre from Lewis Miley. Byrne finding Livramento and Gordon. Livramento goes beyond. Gordon's ball towards the run of Longstaff, intercepted. Fulham play it up the line to Iwobi. Kearney inside, could be a foul. Here's a foul. Miley on João Palhinha. And they're unsurprisingly going to take their time over set pieces. Free kicks, everything, as much as they can, the 10 men. Bournemouth have equalised against Luton 1-1. We will be at Luton next Saturday, which we're looking forward to very much, aren't
immensely.
we? They've got a new stand at Kenilworth Road. Livramento, good run, still going, cuts it back. Wilson gets there, laid off to Anthony Gordon. Good save, low down by Leno. First time he's really been tested. Gordon right-footed, Leno left-handed, makes the save. Manchester City lead Crystal Palace 2-0, and it's Chelsea 1, Sheffield United 0. Here, John Anderson, well, Newcastle close.
Yeah, good save.
Longstaff to Miley in the centre. Miley gets away and then has a try.
Good hit.
Leno with a save from the shot that was pretty much straight at him, but brilliantly set up by Lewis Miley not long after Newcastle, with Livramento, Wilson and Gordon involved.
Yeah, it's better, a bit more intent, a bit more pace about it.
And it's got the crowd involved and off their seats, but still 0-0, 53 minutes. Bruno looking to create. He's given the ball away to Anthony Robinson, knocks it around Emil Kraft and hits the deck. Fulham wanting a yellow card. I'm not sure if Robinson gets away from Kraft. He's actually going to get the ball, but you can see why they feel it should be a yellow card.
He's just cleaned him out, isn't he?
Andreas Pereira, Fulham's creative midfielder, clips it down the line. Miley with a back heel to keep it in after Kraft headed it away. One back by Fulham. Pereira, it's gone backwards off Lascelles. Harry Wilson, Longstaff, or is it Byrne? Got another player down in the box, and then they get it clear, and it's Byrne who's down, and it's Almiron, left side over the halfway line. The forward ball,
dear oh dear,
straight to Tosin, who pushes it back to the goalkeeper. He's looking for Gordon. He was overhit, but it's one back. Byrne is on his feet and is okay. Longstaff now for Almiron, deflected, up and behind.
Good defending.
Issa Diop, and it's a corner when he got in the left side of the penalty area.
Yeah, good little ball, Longstaff. Big defenders got across there. It's a big block.
Wonder if he could have taken it earlier, Almiron, but coming in on his left foot. He's on that side of the pitch. They win the corner. Gordon has rolled it to Almiron. It comes back to Anthony Gordon. Now it goes in. Good ball, but Leno's there. There was space in the 6-yard box, but Byrne was beyond the keeper, and no one in black and white could get there. Chelsea lead Sheffield United 2-0. Kraft with Robinson battling for the ball. Emil Kraft makes the block, and Fulham have a throw near the corner flag.
Full credit to Fulham, mind. They're getting forward when they can. They're not just sitting back and...
Robinson, throw to Kearney, and then give them back to the American, into the box, onto the chest of Iwobi, laid off. João Palhinha doesn't shoot, instead passes it to the right to Castagna, hoisted in there from Adarabioyo, Tosin Adarabioyo, and Andreas Pereira can't control the ball. Newcastle 0, Fulham 0. And Dubravka gives it to Lascelles. Kraft on the near side. Almiron on halfway. Fulham with 10 men. Raul Jimenez shown a red card after a VAR review in the first half. Lots of space for Livramento as they switch the play. He's cut inside. Bruno away from Palhinha. Bruno still going. Brilliant run. Lewis Miley, big chance. Lewis Miley! His first Newcastle goal. Oh, Lewis Miley, what a moment. On for the injured Joelinton. Miley has hammered United into the lead. 17 years of age, but his time is now, and Lewis Miley scores at the Gallagher end, and what a reward for some brilliant performances. He has his first goal for the club, beats Leno low down to the goalkeeper's right, and in the 57th minute, Miley, the new hero on Tyneside, has scored the opener. It's Newcastle United 1, Fulham 0.
Oh, what a great moment for the young man. I mean, Guimaraes does great, but half-hearted tackles from Fulham. They just dangle legs, but it falls to Miley and he just whips it across the goalkeeper into the bottom corner. Special day for him.
Eddie Howe celebrated with a clenched fist and a look of relief.
Oh yeah, just a bit.
I don't think he's enjoyed his afternoon very much, Eddie Howe. He's seen Fabian Schär and Joe Linton go off with hamstring problems. But Lewis Miley, he's one of our own, the chant, and he's come on and he's delivered. What the heck do Fulham do now? They'll have to keep getting forwards, aren't they? Which they tried to do. You were saying?
You just don't see Fulham having enough now. They've got no outlet. There's nothing to hit and bring people into the game.
Lascelles near to halfway, up to Bruno, who helped with the creation of the goal. Bruno gets it from Gordon. It's all a bit tight over there. Wilson takes it out to the left wing. It's where he finds Sean Longstaff. And he's on the ball again, Longstaff. Gordon behind him. Up to Wilson. Longstaff goes beyond. It's pushed back to Gordon. Now down the line for Livramento. No flag. Livramento plays a 1-2. Stabs it back. Almiron takes the touch. Can't hit it. Oh, it's blocked. Almiron as he tried to squeeze it through, and then Kraft looking for Miley. Just too much on the ball inside from Emil Kraft. And
Just wants too long. Almiron just wants too long to hit it. Just put your foot through it.
Nil here. Kraft makes a challenge. Ball goes back to Lascelles. Miley, right side. Almiron gets it. Bruno's got space. He's got plenty of space, Bruno. It's on his left. This is Wilson, edge of the area. Back to Bruno. Can't get the shot off. João Palhinha makes the challenge. Bruno plays it to Almiron. And I think he's tried to bend across to pick somebody out off the outside of his left foot, but it's gone over the top of the bar.
Yeah, got it all wrong, didn't he?
2 Fulham changes. They are bringing on Rodrigo Muniz for Timothy Castagna, striker for fullback, and Kenny Tete, who is a fullback, comes on for Andreas Pereira. So they're kind of straight swaps, just not according to the numbers board. 61st minute, Lewis Miley the scorer, and Newcastle lead the 10 men 1-0. There is a suspension in the match between Bournemouth and Luton. The players have been taken off the field, but we're not quite sure of the reason why. We'll find out a bit more, but we do like to keep across the other Premier League matches, and that game has been halted. And there's been an incident at the game. The players are off. Bournemouth against Luton. 1-0 Newcastle. João Palhinha on the halfway line, facing his own goal. Gets turned. It's out to the wide area. And the substitute, Kenny Tete. Back to goalkeeper Leno. That's good from Issa Diop. Forward ball, straight through, sliced through the middle of the Newcastle lines in central midfield. Iwobi, nice play to Tete, deflected cross, caught by Dubravka.
Yeah, just wanted too long. Tete, ball needed to go earlier. It's taking the deflection, loop straight up in the air, straight into the arms of Dubravka.
Newcastle United through Dan Burn. This is Jamal Lascelles. And out of play on the right side. The reason Bournemouth-Luton was suspended is that the Luton defender Tom Lockyer appeared to collapse near the centre circle. The Luton players and the Bournemouth players were taken off, and Tom Lockyer went off in the playoff final.
He did,
after an incident. So there will be an increased level of concern over him, and we hope that everything will be okay, but that's why the match has been paused. Newcastle have got the ball back from Fulham here on BBC Radio Newcastle. 63rd minute, 1-0 up. What a moment to savour for Lewis Miley with his first senior goal, and took it well. Rodrigo Muniz trying to win a free kick from Jamal Lascelles.
Oh dear, how is that not a free kick?
Referee Sam Barrett having absolutely none of that. The fourth official, Ollie Langford's going to have earache on the left side from all the Fulham protests. This is Gordon through. Callum Wilson might be in. Wilson down in the box. Almiron! Callum Wilson challenged in the penalty area, but the ball ran loose for Miguel Almiron, who smashes it home into the empty net for his 5th of the season. And they extend their lead on 64 minutes. It's Newcastle United 2, Fulham 0.
Well, he's not going to miss from there, that's for sure. I mean, yet again, not the greatest defending by Fulham.
Ooh. Wilson, it's going to be tight. They might check the offside.
I'm not saying anything.
He didn't touch the ball though, did he? Well, nothing wrong with Almiron's part in the goal, Ando. It's just whether Wilson's offside or onside, isn't it?
Yeah.
Referee's got his finger to his earpiece. He's having a word with Callum Wilson. We don't have the VAR graphics on the giant screen at the Leazes end. And referee is telling Fulham to wait. And VAR are checking now the possible offside. They're just checking for the offside, not a possible penalty. It is. Well, I mean, they wouldn't check for the penalty because the ball's gone into the net, but it's the offside that they're looking at. And Sam Barrett waits. Now we can see, Ando, the screen. Are they going to put the lines on for us? They say that they've just done it there, but they didn't go red or green to show whether it was on or off. This could be good. And the roar tells us all we need to know. Almiron's goal stands. Wilson was level, and it's Newcastle 2, Fulham 0. Now you can speak freely and
celebrate
about the goal. You can celebrate, which I know you're eager to do.
But it's crazy, isn't it? You know.
Oh, they've won the ball back, again. Gordon. He hit that harder than he smacked the ball into the net from a yard out. That
hammer in his boot.
Talk to us a bit more about the goal.
Well, it wasn't great defending again by Fulham. I mean, as I say, Almiron's not going to miss from there because it's taken everybody out of the game. But yet again, you can't really celebrate. You just don't know what's happening.
Tom Kearney,
everything just gets checked
with a header, glancing header straight at Dubravka. Tino Livramento to Dan Burn, into Jamal Lascelles. They have made 2 changes. You only get 3 windows to make substitutions, not including half-time and not for a concussion substitute if a player has a head injury. So they can bring 3 more on, but they'd have to do it all in one go if they were to make some more changes. Newcastle, the bench as it is Karius, Botman, Dummett, Ritchie, Hall and Alex Murphy. 67 minutes played, 2-0 up. Livramento back to Lascelles on the halfway line. Emil Kraft, Almiron down the right wing, keeps it in, threads it through for Miley. Oh, it's behind Wilson, just behind Wilson, who acknowledges Miley's attempt to pick him out, and then Iwobi knocks Kraft to the floor, and it's a free kick between 25 and 30 yards out, probably level with the side of the penalty area on the right.
Yeah, you can have no complaints. Straight in front of us.
No further news on the situation at Bournemouth Luton. Tom Lockyer, though, the Luton defender who collapsed on the pitch, was taken off on a stretcher by paramedics and medical staff working at both clubs. He had heart surgery in June after collapsing during Luton's playoff final win against Coventry.
Yeah, wish them all the best.
Newcastle lead 2-0, and with Bruno behind the free kick, we're looking to get a third. It's to Livramento, and passed out to the left wing to Gordon, knocks it away from Muniz, then the cross, they're queuing up at the back post. Wilson took it down, it's cleared as far as Emil Kraft, who had a touch and then had a go with the shot, which is over the bar.
Yeah, Wilson does great at the back post. The ball's played in, does great to get something on it. They half clear it, Kraft edge of the penalty area. First touch gets away from him slightly. It's always stretching for it to hit, and it's always just rising over the top of the crossbar. Good hit though.
A lot of power in the shot from Kraft. His one and only Newcastle goal was against Manchester City in a behind closed doors game in that season. Bruno has got the ball back on the right and has been fouled by Iwobi. It's going to be a yellow card for João Palhinha. Looks like it's for dissent. Bruno yet to pick himself up off the floor. And he took the last free kick. He's going to deliver this one too. Matt Ritchie and Lewis Hall go for a jog. It's interesting, Eddie Hall's comments about Lewis Hall before the match, and those saying that he doesn't know if the criteria have been met for his loan to become permanent from Chelsea. I'm not sure whether he can play on Tuesday. There's a possibility that he might be able to under the terms of the deal. We're trying to find that out, but it would be good to see him because we've not seen much of him. Bruno with the free kick. It's a good one. And Longstaff in the box, trying to get the shot away. Wilson challenging, a few appeals for handball. We play on and Iwobi clears. The ball in that was dangerous from Bruno. Couldn't make the most of it. Gordon on the left wing. It's gone out, but it went out off Gordon. And it's a Fulham throw. It did hit the arm. It did hit the arm, but is the arm in an unnatural position? Probably you would say not. Whose arm did it hit? Oh, well, it's kind of out. It's the arm is bent at the elbow. Sean Longstaff needs treatment in the meantime, so the physio's going to have to go across to the far side of the pitch. Surely not another injury, but they're going to... No, he's all right. He's okay. He's back up, Longstaff. And I think the match is just going to continue, isn't it? No full VAR check for the possible handball. 2-0 to Newcastle. How do you see it at the moment then, John Anderson?
Cruise control. Totally dominated the ball. Second half, got the 2 goals. Taking a little bit of nervousness away. Got a little bit edgy at 0-0, but very, very difficult to see Fulham coming back into this.
Ball is with Iwobi, who's finding himself in central midfield. Anthony Robinson drifting in off the left, the full-back. Harry Wilson, that's a foul by Bruno. In the final third for Fulham. It was the second ball from a set piece that gave AC Milan their equaliser, and Eddie Howe more disappointed with the way they conceded that goal on Wednesday than the second. They've not had to defend many set pieces today, but they've got to get this one right and stay in that comfortable position that Ando's just been talking about. 2-0 up. Here's the free kick from the left foot of Tom Kearney. Players lined up either side of the 18-yard line. Now they make their move as Kearney swings it in. Dubravka watching it and claiming it.
That's awful.
It's Manchester City 2, Crystal Palace 1 at the Etihad, and Luton's Tom Lockyer, who was taken off on a stretcher after collapsing on the pitch. It's been confirmed that he was alert and responsive in the tunnel at Bournemouth. No news on whether the match has restarted yet, but that is encouraging news on the condition of Luton's Tom Lockyer. Lascelles, centre of the pitch. Kraft to Almiron. Miley is ahead of him. It's played back to Kraft. Sven Botman's gone out with Ritchie and Hall to warm up. No Alexander Isak today. We were told before the match it's because there's some tightness in the groin, and given the injury that kept him out for a few games not so long ago, Newcastle didn't want to risk him. Still have possession. Fulham not really getting near it, are they, with press? Still have the man advantage, obviously, from the Fulham sending off for Raul Jimenez earlier. They haven't really gone for it with substitutions either, Fulham, have they? They made 2, but Newcastle well in charge. Almiron. Bruno with a spin and away to the left. To Byrne, and Gordon still looking for that goal to make it 5-5 in the Premier League at home. He did hit the bar in the first half and then had a shot saved in the second. Kraft, Almiron flicked down the line. Miley, it's opened up for Newcastle. Lewis Miley's cross. Callum Wilson just missed it.
What a ball. What a ball that is.
It's a phenomenal cross. A centre forward's dream. Wilson at the back post. So close. They've taken the corner after it went behind off a Fulham defender. Bruno just outside the area. Fired it through, but it's gone behind.
Here's the substitutes now, 3 of them.
Fulham are going to bring on Harrison Reed, the midfielder, Bobby De Cordova-Reid, and Sasha Lukic. Tom Kearney, the captain, is replaced by Sasha Lukic. He's a Serbian international midfielder, signed him in January. Harrison Reed is coming on in the place of João Palhinha. And Bobby De Cordova-Reid, an attacker, comes on for Alex Iwobi. De Cordova-Reid's got 3 goals this season. He scored the goal that put Fulham 3-2 up at Liverpool not so long ago. In the latter part of the match, but they still managed to lose 4-3 at Anfield. He's on into their attack alongside Rodrigo Muniz. Newcastle have a 2-0 advantage, and it's going to be their throw in the middle of the Fulham half after the triple change. Jason Tyndall speaking to Jamal Lascelles as Emil Kraft takes the throw, just nicks it down the line. Almiron holding his face, just collided accidentally with Robinson. Another throw for Newcastle United. Kraft doesn't have anything on really. Wilson, throw to the centre forward, down at the side of the penalty area, and they get the free kick. Issa Diop
just wraps his arms around him and just gets far too tight, and Wilson just rolls him.
That's surely what Wilson was looking to get out of that, wasn't it? It's a return to the side for Diop. It's not been the most comfortable. They love a goal, Wilson. He's 2 behind Isak. It's a 7 and 9 respectively this season. Gordon with the free kick. It's just outside the right side of the penalty area, not quite 18 yards from the goal. Gordon hangs it up. Leno punches. Lascelles was the closest in black and white to it. There's a Fulham man down in the box. Newcastle have the ball. There's under no obligation to stop it. The referee's whistle has gone. Rodrigo Muniz seems to have hurt his shoulder, his right shoulder. Sitting down with his legs apart and his hands on his ankles in the box in his pink Fulham kit. Just got caught by his own goalkeeper. In the meantime, Eddie Howe's got his arm around Miguel Almiron and giving him some instructions. If you were to make a change now, Ando, with 11 minutes to go, what do you think might be the best option? Just to give somebody a breather ahead of...
He may bring Richie on. I suppose Richie would be the obvious one, I suppose. Some people would say Hall, but for whatever reason he hasn't been giving him any game time. Richie's the one he's been going to. He's been his go-to substitute, hasn't he?
He's come on in each of the last 6 Premier League matches, Matt Ritchie. Kraft and Bruno for Almiron, chased by the sub, fresh legs, De Cordova-Reid. Almiron comes in off the wing and plays the ball back to Lascelles. Burn now, they're in the Fulham half. 2-0 up on BBC Radio Newcastle. Phone in to follow on 0800 234 6565. It's the number to ring us. Almiron, good play. Inside, then back outside to Emil Kraft in the corner. Oh, Kraft through the legs of De Cordova-Reid, and the obstruction brings Newcastle a free kick from De Cordova-Reid, blocking off Kraft after that lovely bit of skill.
Yeah, well played.
And he's getting a yellow card, De Cordova-Reid. It's a bit of a swing maybe with the arm. Is that why?
Didn't swing his arm. Strange.
His arm's out though. I think his arm caught him.
That a yellow card?
That must be why.
Or is it for giving out to the linesman? Or for talking to the linesman? Because you can't talk to them now either, can you?
Cry of Bruno from the fans in the corner between the Milburn and the Gallagher end, as he lines up behind the free kick. Bruno Guimaraes. Dan Burn in the box, couldn't get the header away. It's come back out to Bruno after Almiron's shot is blocked. He's lifted it to the back post. Burn! Yes! Yes! Dan Burn has got the ball into the net. And they have a third goal. And the big man gets the celebrations. He scored at the Gallagher end. Oh, and he enjoyed that one. Burn might have hit the keeper and come back to him, but it ended up in the net. And Newcastle United well clear now and heading for 3 points. It's Newcastle United 3, Fulham 0.
The original header saved by Leno, just bounces off his knee straight back to Dan Burn, who just walks it into an empty net.
That's got in off Burn's thigh. It's always A special occasion when Dan Burn scores. And now we're going to see Sven Botman, Lewis Hall and Matt Ritchie. It is going to be a triple change. Good for Botman to get some time on the pitch. He's only played 6 times this season and he's missed 17 games. Eddie Howe's getting a bit frustrated, I think possibly because the numbers board isn't ready. Newcastle 3, Fulham 0. Fulham have 10 men. Ritchie coming on for his 7th Premier League appearance. It's as many as he made in total last season. And he replaces Tino Livramento. And it's a standing ovation for the incredibly popular Livramento. Burn, his last thing he did was score and celebrate, because here comes Botman, his replacement. Big smile on Dan Burn's face. And what a roar for Sven Botman, high-fived by Almiron and Kraft, and then by Lascelles. He gets a hug from Bruno and Anthony Gordon. There's a break for Gordon. Lewis Hall onto the left side. Now Hall has gone to left back and Ritchie's gone to the left wing. And Botman left side and centre half next to Lascelles. So players in recognised positions. It's a huge header forwards from Lascelles to find Wilson. Try to push his way through. You can imagine how tense Wilson is, in the sense that they've scored 3 goals, John Anderson, and he hasn't got one of them.
Yeah, he would have wanted to get on the score sheet today, but
foul by Lascelles on halfway on Muniz. Luton's match away to Bournemouth 1-1, but suspended after Luton defender Tom Lockyer collapsed on the pitch, though he was alert and responsive in the tunnel after being taken off on a stretcher, has been abandoned. The match is now off. And on BBC Radio Newcastle, after the Newcastle match and the Sunderland game today, we'll keep across all the other football and let you know if there are any further developments there. You can ring us on 0800 234 6565 or on Twitter, well, now known as X. It's at BBC Newcastle. That's also where we'll put our post-match interviews later. Newcastle with possession. Eddie Howe just with his hand signals urging calm. We're in the 86th minute. This is Lewis Hall, 7th Newcastle appearance. A ball down the line for Longstaff, lifted inside to Wilson. Flag has stayed down. Wilson backing into 2 defenders, trying to push his way through. Robinson to the goalkeeper. Leno clears it first time. Our WhatsApp number is 08000 321 333. Bruno fouled by Sasha Lukic in midfield. 08000 321 333. We love getting your WhatsApp messages. Send us a voice note as well, and you need to put BBC at the start of the message on WhatsApp. If you're listening to us on NUFC TV, switch to BBC Sounds after the match for our post-match discussion. BBC Radio Newcastle. Lascelles to Almiron. Kraft on the overlap. Back to Lascelles. They can get one more here, can't they?
Yeah, very easily.
Looking good for a 7th win in a row at home in the Premier League. Bruno for Matt Ritchie. Lewis Hall is in a more central position. Bruno to Lascelles. Botman alongside him now. Back from the knee injury. Kraft to Almiron, down the line from Miley, who got it all started with that well taken first senior goal to the delight of St James's Park. Botman, Longstaff, lovely take on the turn. It's opened up for Sean Longstaff. It's just over the top.
Big chance. Big chance. Got to get it on target. Got to make the keeper save. Always leaning back.
Leno puts the ball down. Almiron, Wilson and Ritchie, edge of the area. Fulham defenders now push up the pitch. Leno towards halfway. Kraft and De Cordova Reid there. Lascelles on Muniz, who I don't think will enjoy the physical side of Lascelles defending. It's a Fulham throw now. They are going to be like Newcastle playing in the League Cup quarter-finals on Tuesday. Fulham go to Everton, having won at Ipswich in the last round. Botman clears the ball, and then Fulham bring it forwards. Hall tries to make a challenge. It's come to Harry Wilson. They want to protect the clean sheet, Newcastle. No team's conceded fewer times at home in the Premier League this season. It's 4 in total. 2 by Liverpool, and Aston Villa and Chelsea 1 each scored here. Still Fulham attacking on the right hand side in the 89th minute. Lifted in, the cross from Sasha Lukic, and then away by Lascelles. Issa Diop stretching Newcastle with a pass to Robinson in the corner. Almiron is there. It's played back by Robinson. Not the most accurate ball, but Diop collects. And now the gingerhead Harrison Reed, smallest player out there. Reed moved it to the right side of midfield and then drifted forwards. It comes back into the centre, middle of Newcastle's half. Sasha Lukic looking for Rodrigo Muniz in the box. It's a Newcastle goal kick. Final score in our other commentary match: Bristol City 1, Sunderland 0. And at St James's, Newcastle lead Fulham by 3-0 with 30 seconds of normal time to play. And this is the response, Ando, and they've been up against 10 men for a long time, but they needed a result. They've got a few goals. The injuries, more injuries, are a problem, but this is what I would have been looking for. Wilson, superb stuff. It's brilliant centre forward play, holding it up, really nicely done. There's going to be a minimum of 7 minutes. Bruno's lost the ball in midfield. The additional time period of 7 minutes.
Likes has added on time, this ref, doesn't he?
Well, we played 9 minutes at the end of the first half after 8 was signalled. 7 here. Bruno back to Botman. Raul Jimenez sent off on 22 minutes. And the goal, the opener from Miley, came on 57. Almiron 64, and then Dan Burn 82 minutes. Bruno to Ritchie. Hall down the line. Almiron keeping position on the right side of midfield. Bruno into the box to Wilson. There's no offside. Still has it. Longstaff for Hall. To Longstaff and wide to Ritchie. Wilson's in the box, but there's no room to shift the ball or stick a cross in. So they keep it on the floor and go back. Longstaff to Bruno. Hall now in central midfield. And Almiron, the recipient of the pass from Hall, on the outside to Kraft. In comes the cross, headed straight to Miley. Bruno looking for Miley again. Half a clearance from Fulham. Longstaff's header out wide. 3-0 up on BBC Radio Newcastle. Bruno, Longstaff with space, back to Bruno. Oh, can't get through. Miley, great desire to win it. And he's played it to Hall. Ritchie. Hall goes down the line, but the ball comes back inside to Sven Botman. Kraft to Almiron. Back to Kraft. comes in off the touchline. De Cordova-Reid slipped. Almiron to Kraft again. 0800 234 6565 is our number, or on WhatsApp put BBC at the start of your message, or send us a voice note, and the number is 08000 321 333. Miguel Almiron away again down the right wing, checks back. Kraft to Lascelles. Fulham, all 9 outfield players behind the ball. Newcastle keeping it and moving it right to left and really making their opponents work. Crystal Palace have equalised 2-2 at Manchester City. Wow. Kraft to Almiron. Newcastle 3-0 up, and they could well get a fourth, and they might do now with Bruno and Wilson, who wants his goal. He turns, Wilson, the shot blocked. He's desperate to score. It won't quite fall for him, but they're still on the attack. Now it might be Bruno to Wilson. He's hit the post. It really won't fall for him. Miley with a cross. Matt Ritchie on his chest. Back across goal, and it's hit Longstaff in the middle of the 6-yard box, and Fulham have cleared. Still 3-0, and we are now into the 4th of 7 additional minutes on BBC Radio Newcastle.
How unlucky. Great strike, just smacks the post full on. Just won't fall for a black and white shirt.
They've hit the bar and they've hit the post today. They've scored 3 goals. They're on for another maybe. Ritchie with a cross. It's caught by Leno, who had time to read the situation and make the catch on the 6-yard line. Reaction from Sunderland's defeat by Bristol City, and Newcastle's match here coming up before 6. Brilliant sliding tackle. Emil Kraft. Lascelles to Miley, and Bruno in midfield, looking for space. Got a man on now. We'll be here till 6 on X, formerly Twitter. Send us a message at BBC Newcastle, or if you want to text, it's 81333. Put BBC at the start. Bruno to Longstaff, carries it forwards. Harrison Reed pulls him down, and the free kick is 10 yards in front of the centre circle. Couple of minutes to play. Welcome to St James's Park if you've been listening on DAB and Freeview 719 to the Sunderland match. Bruno up to Miley, and then Miley to Almiron. Still looking for the fourth. Here's the cross. Matt Ritchie saved by the legs of the keeper at the near post. Fulham haven't got the ball clear. Lascelles on it now. Bruno. Almiron again, right corner of the area. Shifts it back to Bruno. Through for Miley. Slid behind by Robinson.
Dead on the feet, aren't they, Fulham?
They are clinging on here. They've taken the corner. Bruno to Miley. Flicked it back to Bruno. It's cleared. Almiron went for it with a diving header and missed. Lascelles has kept it in near to halfway, and Botman gives him an angle, gets it and finds the skipper again. Then inside to Botman once more. About a minute to play. We'll be bringing you commentary on Tuesday from the Cup quarter-final at Chelsea. Free kick for United, another foul in midfield. Lewis Hall on a run into the box, stopped by a challenge, and Fulham in the right full-back position. A chance to bring it clear up towards Rodrigo Muniz, heads it inside. Kraft is covering, and forwards come Newcastle again. Bruno. Wilson might be in. It's a backward header. 2 defenders went for it, almost collided with each other, but Bernd Leno got across his box and has claimed the ball.
Got lucky, didn't he? Ball could have went anywhere. Fortunately for them, went straight back to the goalkeeper.
3-0 the score. Hall's intercepted. It's a heavy touch. And Fulham have it back. and Sam Barrett blows for full time.